is it possible that you can pay the 6,000 shillings that was promised to Kenyans as in our manifesto? Thank you.
Senator Miraj. Senator Miraj. Order, honorable senators. Senator Miraj, proceed.
Asante mstahiki Spika, na mimi nimkaribishe waziri na nimpongeze kwa kufika kwa wakati. Swali langu kwake ni kwamba kuna jinamizi jipya limechipuka katika taifa letu la Kenya, jinamizi la watoto wetu kuweza kucheza kamare. Na kuna ushahidi ya kwamba pesa nyingi zinazochukuliwa katika mifuko hii ya hazina za fedha inaenda kutumika katika hali ambazo sizo za malengo ya hazina hizi za fedha. Je, kuna mikakati gani katika wizara yetu kuhakikisha kwamba tunafuatilia utekelezaji wa ruwaza wa hazina hizi za pesa? Nikimaanisha kuna mikakati gani ya kuhakikisha kwamba pesa zinazochukuliwa zinafanywa biashara na zinastawisha vipi uchumi wa serikali kama ilivyokuwa malengo ya rais wetu wakati alipokuwa anataka kuweka hazina hii ya fedha, ili tuone kwamba kuna sera ya kuona kwamba anayechukua hizi fedha anaenda kuyafanyia yale malengo ambayo anaombea na haendi kutumia kwa mihadarati na hata kujiingiza katika jinamizi la kamare. Asante Mheshimiwa Spika.
Senator Eddie Okech.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for giving me this opportunity. My question is also on the same ASLA fund, and because the CS in charge now is an expert from ODM, has the ministry done a legal impact assessment of the ASLA fund, Mr. Speaker? Because it seems to me that we don't know where this ASLA fund is being invested, and we don't know who are borrowing this ASLA fund. Is there even intention by the ministry to publish a proper impact assessment of areas that this money has gone, which people have borrowed, and to what extent have they transformed their business, Mr. Speaker? Because, Mr. Speaker, where I come from, one of the people I hoped would have borrowed from this FASLA fund, Mr. Speaker, is the border industry, which we are given to be about 1.5 million people in our borders today, Mr. Speaker. But the border industry is still going to very expensive solutions in terms of people who are in the marketplace, giving them, Mr. Speaker, these loans at almost 60%, Mr. Speaker. If you look at what the border are getting, even in terms of just the deposit that they're given to give to these funds, like what to credit, Mogo, Progressive, they have to give sometimes up to 60,000, Mr. Speaker. And then within 3 years, they try to pay these funds. The border is depleted, is depreciated, but then they don't have even the border itself, Mr. Speaker. So who are these people borrowing from ASLA fund? Who are these ASLAs? Can the minister table to us at the right time an impact assessment that is legally done as an expert that he is from ODM to show the country what has happened in that ASLA fund?
Senator Mgatana.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In your response, Waziri, when you are asked about how you have gone out of your way to explain the opportunities that exist for women by the Honorable Joyce Korir, especially in remote and underprivileged areas, you said that you have taken a multi-sectoral approach, and you have gone to other places, and you gave the example of Marsabit and Kakamega. Now, in this Senate, we have 47 counties, Mr. Speaker. Now, 2 out of 47 is 4.25%. The question I wanted to ask you as a follow-up is, when are you coming to Tana River? When are you going to the rest of the other counties? Which program, when are you rolling out this program so that we can host you in our various counties to explain these opportunities to the other people. You did not tell us that program. It just ended that you've given Marsabit and Kakamega. We want to hear when you will be coming to the rest of the counties. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable CS, you may now proceed to respond.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, before I answer the supplementary questions, I think members are very much interested in the Hustler Fund. And I want to commit myself, Mr. Speaker, that you can set aside time that I can come and meet the members out of the normal session so that we are able to explain in detail how Hustler Fund is working and how it can help the members, also the members, your members from your constituencies who helped you to come to this house. So if you will give me that opportunity, I will avail myself, Mr. Speaker, to do that. But on the issue of labor mobility, we are working with the Ministry of Labor, and I saw the Cabinet Secretary in charge of Labor was here. We are working, and our role is actually to provide finances. So the entire selection, the entire identification of the opportunities that are there overseas is the responsibility of the Ministry of Labor. So as soon as they identify those particular people, they just forward a list with the documents, necessary documents, to prove that these people actually have got a job overseas and they have the necessary documentation to travel and they have a letters of appointment, then we facilitate them. So far, we have facilitated 200.
Order, honorable senators. May we hear the honorable CS in total silence?
Yeah, so far we have facilitated 268.
Senator Beatrice Akinyi.
268 Kenyans.
Senator Beatrice Akinyi, I thought you're the one who asked these questions. Proceed, honorable CS.
Yeah, so far we have facilitated 268, but this, to know where they have gone, if they have not gone, that is the responsibility of the Ministry of Labor. My role is just to get a list with the necessary documents from the Ministry of Labor, and then we facilitate the financing. And my responsibility ends there. To know who went, who never went, where they are going, that information can be availed from the Ministry of Labor. On the issue of Nyota and KJet, honorable members, this is a very important initiative that you as members of parliament, you should get aware of, because this is a joint initiative with the Kenya government, with the World Bank, and it involves about 33 billion Kenya shillings. Already sensitization program is going on. Unfortunately, the sensitization program is going on with the members of the National Assembly because the selection of the beneficiaries is based on wards. So they thought that members of parliament would be the best ones with the member of the county assemblies, so that these people are sensitized to apply, and you have to apply on your phone. It's a digital application process. So unfortunately, the members of National Assembly have been sensitized, they are aware of it, and unfortunately the Senate have not been properly included, and I want also to commit myself that you are members of parliament, so you must be aware of what is happening, and I also commit myself that given opportunity, because this is a very important initiative, I'm ready to come and actually sensitize you or take you through the program. On the issues raised by my Secretary General, Mr. Sfuna, I don't remember. I know we were in the same boat that time. Yeah, but I never heard of this money being a grant. That was the truth. I only was in the same boat when we were saying that this money should not be paid. But now I'm in a different boat. I'm saying that Kenyans who have borrowed this money should pay. Because I feel that this money is a good initiative that will help many Kenyans. Unfortunately, when such initiatives come up after an election, members of the public think that they are being rewarded. And that's why we had so many defaulters when the fund started. But let me assure members of parliament who are here that we are working on a system where we will ensure that this amount is recovered so that more Kenyans benefit from this money. But please note that out of the 20 million Kenyans that started borrowing from this fund, 2 million of them have proved to be good borrowers. And these good borrowers, we have introduced a bridging loan. These are the people who have been given a good limit, a better limit for them to borrow up to 150,000. So out of the 20 million, 2 million have been promoted to what we call a bridging loan, so they can be able to access this fund at 150,000. And let me tell you that this fund is working very well. It is helping many Kenyans despite the initial problems that we had. On the issue of Hustler Fund helping cooperative, Hustler Fund is a different product. It's a digital, we use a digital platform to access, use your phone. You do not interact with any individual. So it will be difficult to take that particular fund again, divert it to cooperatives. However, in the Cooperative Bill 2024 that is before the Senate, there is a provision of creating a cooperative development fund. And it is through that fund that now, based on how you will pass it here, that is the fund that we will use to support cooperative specifically. And it will be a levy collected from cooperatives, also government allocation to that fund, so that now we can scale up the operations of most cooperatives, especially those in the critical value chain. The issue of providing records, I've clearly said here, providing records of Hustler Fund. I've clearly said here, Hustler Fund is a digital platform facility. If you want a printout, I can do it. But if you go to our website, it will show you how it is operated. But I have committed myself that Hustler Fund is a critical fund that I think it helps a lot of Kenyans, that I will come here and explain to members so that they know how this fund is working. So I know there are bad debts. I've admitted myself that there are bad debts, and we're working to see how that can be recovered. But one member said that I paid the 6,000. 6,000 was a promise by Asmio, and as you know, Asmio lost the election, so maybe you organize yourself so that if Asmio comes into power, if they have a chance of coming into power, then they can be able to pay for the 6,000, to pay for the 6,000 shillings. But We are in the Kenya Kwanza government. They have their own priorities. And since we are now under the broad-based, we are now working towards those agenda of theirs. Mr. Speaker, on the issue of how us knowing how these funds are used, because one member of Parliament here mentioned the issue of Kamari. With the Hustler Fund, it will be difficult for us as a ministry to follow what the individual use that money. But other funds like Kenya Industrial Estates, KIE, those ones we are able to follow, we are able to monitor and make respective reports, because this is targeted money to make sure that it is given to entrepreneurs. Those entrepreneurs use it properly. They pay back with interest of 8%. Is a specific period, and is supposed to help the entrepreneurs to grow, to create more employment. So that will be easier to monitor, and that's what we do. Weather Fund, we do the same, but Hustler Fund, it will be difficult. On the question of Eddie, about the legal impact, let me assure you that we are in the process of doing that. We have commissioned a consultant to help us come up with the impact assessment of Hustler Fund. But I want to assure you that Hustler Fund is operated by two private service providers. That is Safaricom and Kenya Commercial Bank. Kenya Commercial Bank is the custodian of funds, but the operation is carried out by Safaricom. So we are in the process of carrying out an impact assessment, and I'm hopeful that in the near future we will give you a report on that. On the last one raised by my friend Mungatana, I just gave Kakamega as one example that where we were 2 weeks ago. Next Friday we are going to Marsabit, and we have a whole program involving 47 counties. I will let you know when we are coming to Tana River, and I will appreciate if you are around so that we are able to speak one language.
Thank you very much, Cabinet Secretary. I think we have come to the end of the session with the Cabinet Secretary. Senator Dulo, what's your point of order?
Mr. Speaker, I had requested to ask question from the beginning. Up to now, I was not given an opportunity. And I came to consult the previous speaker. Please allow me to ask one question on the county government.
Senator Dulo, I have not been informed that you and Senator Onyonko had requested, but if you're talking about your name appearing on the schedule, there were several senators before you. And now, because of time, we had actually set a time to finish with the CS at 11. So if we could please allow... Okay, Senator Dulo and Senator Onyonka, I will allow you, but not less than a minute. Huh? Oh, Senator Onyonka, I'm being informed that you were called and you were not here, so your name was dropped. Senator Dulo, ask your question very quickly, in less than a minute. So, unfortunately, your name was called, you were on the schedule, and you were not present. Allow Senator Dulo to ask the question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Sorry, I have a problem with my gadget, and I had contacted the previous speaker. Mr. Speaker, I wanted to ask a question on trade budget within the counties. Mr. Speaker, counties normally budget for trade, more specifically for women empowerment, youth empowerment, and PWD's empowerment.
Unfortunately, most of the counties, they have not come up with a legal framework to utilize that particular budget. At the end of the financial year, that budget is reallocated to other activities when our women, our youth, and PWDs are suffering within those counties. I wanted to ask you, CS, are you in touch with the county governments to ensure that that budget is utilized properly to help our people on the ground? I thank you.
Senator Onyonka, 1 minute.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. CS, I would like to say I'm happy to see you in this House. My question is, your government, which you proudly appreciated today, KK, has said all the funds were going to be collapsed so that we could have either one or two funds which will be run through either the outfit that you've been talking about or any other. Have you come up with strategies on how you're going to collapse all the funds that exist in our republic, because we believe that many of those funds are duplicating and being misused and confusing, so that for the public to benefit as much as they're supposed to benefit? That was the question, Mr. Speaker.
Cabinet Secretary.
Mr. Speaker, the first question, supplementary question about county governments budgeting for trade. Unfortunately, as a CS, I have no control over the budget of the county governments. But what we do as a national government, in most of these sensitization programs, we involve the official of the counties to know what we are doing at the national level, so that they can also be part of the system. And there will be something for them to learn, as you know very well that most of these counties have not matured enough, so they have something to learn from the national government. On the issue raised by Honorable Nyonga, already there is recommendation that has been passed already by the cabinet, that recommendation that has been passed already by the cabinet, that all these funds, the initiative is the same, whether it is involving women, whether it is involving the youth, whether it's involving people living with disability, the aim is the same. So it has been already passed that these funds be put together under Biashara Fund, and the process is still going on, and it will come before you for approval. But the process is going on, stakeholders are being consulted, how this can happen, and it will end up in this House.
Thank you very much, CS. Thank you for coming today and answering the questions. We want to wish you all the best, and just to request that since you've seen how much interest there is in your ministry, that you try to keep your office open and engage the senators continuously, Bwana CS. But otherwise, we will give you leave, and thank you very much for appearing. Honorable Senators, we're waiting for the CS Health so that we can proceed with the question time.
you recheck the information that you have just given the House.